Have you ever had that gut-wrenching feeling of being taken for granted? You pour your heart into a connection, only to find that the other person isn't reciprocating the same energy. It's frustrating and confusing, and it leaves you questioning your worth. But here's the twist. Often the moment you decide to step back and focus on yourself, they suddenly start chasing you. It's like a switch flips in their mind. They see you thriving, living your best life, and suddenly they realize what they're about to lose. This phenomenon is something we see time and time again. Today, we're going to dive deep into the psychology behind it. We'll explore 10 undeniable truths that reveal why they only want you when you no longer want them. We'll also tap into the wisdom of the Stoics, those ancient philosophers who mastered the art of emotional resilience and self-mastery. We'll uncover the power of absence, the allure of independence, and the magnetic pull of confidence. This isn't about playing games or manipulating anyone. It's about understanding human nature, reclaiming your power, and recognizing your worth. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, so that whether they come back or not, you'll be thriving. The power of absence. Myth busted. Ever heard the saying, out of sight, out of mind? Guess what? It's a load of baloney. Sometimes the opposite is true. The less available you are, the more someone might start thinking about you. It's like that Wi-Fi signal you take for granted until it's gone. Think about it. When you're always around, texting 24/7, always ready to hang out, people start to assume you'll always be there. It's human nature. We tend to undervalue what's readily available. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus was onto something when he said, "A man can't learn what he thinks he already knows." When you're constantly present, they think they've got you all figured out. But what happens when you switch things up? You start focusing on your life, your goals, your happiness. You stop being so available. Suddenly they're like, wait a minute, where'd they go? Your absence creates a void, and that void starts to make them realize what they're missing. It's like your favorite show ending on a cliffhanger. You're left hanging, desperate to know what happens next. Your absence becomes that cliffhanger in their life. They start wondering what you're up to, who you're with, and whether they're missing out on something amazing. Absence makes the heart grow fond and the mind race. Not only do they start missing you, but they also start thinking about you more. They might even start imagining all the cool things you're doing without them. FOMO, fear of missing out, is a real thing, people. This isn't about playing games. Now let's be clear. This isn't about manipulation. It's about self-respect. It's about recognizing your worth and not letting anyone take you for granted. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic heavyweight, said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." By focusing on yourself, you're not just showing them what they're missing, you're showing yourself what you deserve. So next time you feel like you're being taken for granted, remember the power of absence. Step back, focus on yourself, and let them feel the weight of your absence. It's not about being mean. It's about giving them a chance to realize your value. And if they don't, well, their loss. You've got bigger and better things to focus on. Remember, you're a limited edition masterpiece, not some mass-produced item. Start treating yourself that way, and watch how others start to see you in a whole new light. The shift in dynamics, the underdog's guide to turning the tables. All right, folks, let's talk about the power shift. You know that moment when the tables turn, and you go from chasing someone to having them chase you. It's like that scene in every sports movie, where the underdog finally gets their moment in the spotlight. Think about it. You've been pouring your heart and soul into this connection, texting first, making all the plans, and bending over backward to keep things going. It's exhausting, right? And let's be honest, it's not exactly a recipe for mutual respect. But what happens when you decide enough is enough? You stop chasing, you stop prioritizing their needs above your own, and you start focusing on yourself. That's when the dynamics shift. Suddenly, you're no longer the one seeking validation. They are. And that, my friends, can be a real game changer. The power of the unconquered mind. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." When you stop giving away your power, when you stop bending to their will, you become a force to be reckoned with. You're no longer predictable, and that makes you incredibly intriguing. From predictable to intriguing. Think about it like this. When you're always available and always eager, people start to take you for granted. You become predictable, and predictability breeds complacency. But when you start to focus on yourself, when you stop being so readily available, you become a mystery. And let's face it, people love a good mystery. So the next time you feel like you're being taken for granted, remember this. You have the power to shift the dynamics. Stop chasing, start focusing on yourself, and watch how the tables turn. It's not about playing games. It's about reclaiming your power, recognizing your worth, and becoming the best version of yourself. Whether they come back or not, you'll be thriving. And that, my friends, is the ultimate power move. The power of unpredictability. They know exactly where they stand with you. There's no mystery, no challenge. But when you pull back, when you become a little less predictable, it creates a sense of uncertainty. Suddenly, they're not so sure if they still have your attention, and that can be downright irresistible. This is what I like to call the catnip conundrum. Remember when you were a kid and you'd ignore your toys until someone else wanted to play with them? Suddenly, that toy became the most interesting thing in the room. Well, adults aren't much different. We all want what we think we might lose. This isn't about manipulation. It's about self-respect. Let's be clear. This isn't about playing mind games. It's about recognizing that relationships are a two-way street. If you've been doing all the heavy lifting, it's time to set the weight down and see if they're willing to pick up their end of the bargain. Embrace the shift. So, embrace the power shift. It's a reminder that you deserve to be valued, not just by others, but by yourself. When you stop chasing, you create space for people to come to you. And those who truly value you will rise to the occasion. Remember, you're not just changing the dynamics. You're changing the game. You're stepping into your power, and that's a beautiful thing. The allure of independence. Let's delve into the magnetic pull of independence, what I like to call the "I don't need you" vibe. For some reason, this vibe makes people want you even more. It's as if you suddenly become a rare bird, flying high and free, and they can't help but crane their necks to watch you soar. Picture this. You've always been the one reaching out, always available, always making time for them. They've gotten used to it, maybe even taken it for granted. But then something shifts. You decide to focus on yourself, your growth, your happiness, your goals. You stop waiting around for their calls, you stop rearranging your life for them, and you start living for yourself. Why independence is so attractive? Here's the kicker. Independence is incredibly attractive. It's like flipping a switch in their minds. Suddenly, they see you thriving on your own, and it hits them like a ton of bricks. You're not just the person who was always there for them anymore. You're someone who is building a life, growing and shining without needing them. And that, my friends, is when the tables start to turn. The Stoics' secret weapon. The ancient philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." When you live in harmony with yourself, You radiate a sense of peace and confidence that is undeniably attractive. This inner strength draws people back to you, often when they realize they are no longer the center of your universe. But why does independence have this effect? It's simple. Independence signals self-worth. When you're independent, you're telling the world, I'm valuable on my own. I don't need anyone to complete me. And trust me, people notice. They start to see what they're missing. A person who is whole, self-sufficient, and living life on their terms. The party analogy. Imagine you're at a party. There's someone there who's friendly, chatting with everyone, but not particularly standing out. Then, there's someone else who's confident, comfortable in their skin, moving through the crowd with ease, not desperate for attention, but fully enjoying themselves. Who are you more drawn to? Probably the latter, right? That's the allure of independence in action. Chasing your dreams. When you embody independence, you become that person who doesn't need to chase after anyone's approval. You're busy chasing your dreams, and that's far more compelling. It's this confidence and self-assurance that makes others want to be a part of your life, even if they didn't see your value before. This isn't about isolation. Now, let's be clear. Independence isn't about shutting people out or being aloof. It's about prioritizing yourself, your goals, and your well-being. It's about showing that while you value relationships, you don't depend on them for your happiness. The magnetic effect. This subtle but powerful shift in mindset changes how others perceive you. They start to see you as someone desirable, not because you're always available, but because you're living a full, rich life that they want to be a part of. And here's where the magic happens. When you focus on your independence, you naturally attract more positivity and opportunities into your life. You're not waiting around for someone to give you validation because you've already given it to yourself. This is when they start to miss you, to crave the energy and confidence that you exude. Embrace your independence. So what's the takeaway? Embrace your independence. Cultivate it. Use it as a powerful tool to not only enrich your own life, but also to make others realize what they've lost when they took you for granted. Remember, you are your own greatest asset. As you continue to grow and thrive on your own, you'll find that those who didn't see your worth before will start to see it. And by then, it might just be too late for them. The Rarity Effect. Why playing hard to get the right way works. Let's talk about the Rarity Effect, a psychological principle that plays a crucial role in relationships and social dynamics. The Rarity Effect essentially means that people tend to desire what they can't easily have. Imagine this. You're eyeing that last slice of pizza, and it suddenly seems 10 times more tempting simply because you know it's about to disappear. This principle isn't just limited to food, it's a key factor in relationships as well. When you make yourself less available in a relationship, you become a scarce resource. And, as we know, scarcity increases value. If you're always there, always available, always ready to drop everything for someone, they start to take you for granted. They begin to believe that your attention and presence are constants, something they can always count on. But the moment you step back, something fascinating happens. They suddenly notice the space you've left behind. They realize that your presence wasn't something to be taken for granted, and just like that, you've gone from being a common fixture in their life to something rare and valuable. The collectible mentality. Let's break this down further with an analogy. Think of how we treat everyday objects versus rare collectibles. You wouldn't think twice about losing a pen because you can easily get another one. But lose a rare limited edition item, and you'd feel a significant loss, wouldn't you? The same concept applies to relationships. When you make yourself less available, You shift from being the everyday pen to that one-of-a-kind collectible that they suddenly can't stop thinking about. The scarcity of your presence makes you more desirable, just like how rare collectibles are more cherished. This isn't about playing mind games or being manipulative. It's about recognizing your value and ensuring others see it too. The Stoic Perspective on Time. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." This wisdom applies perfectly to the concept of the Rarity Effect. When you understand that your time and attention are valuable commodities, you stop giving them away so freely. And when you pull back and start valuing your own time, others begin to value it too. They start to see you not just as someone who is always there, but as someone whose presence is a privilege, not a given. The catnip analogy. Let's inject a little humor here. Remember when you were a kid and you'd ignore your toys until someone else wanted to play with them? Suddenly that toy became the most interesting thing in the room. Adults aren't much different. We all want what we think we might lose. And that's exactly what happens when you create a little distance in a relationship. By stepping back, you give the other person a chance to realize what life without you would be like. The toy they once ignored suddenly becomes the most sought-after item in the room. The same happens with your presence in their life. It becomes something they crave, something they can't get enough of. Genuine self-focus, not mind games. Now let's clarify one important point. This isn't about playing hard to get or engaging in manipulative mind games. It's about genuinely focusing on yourself, on your growth, and your happiness. When you're not always around, when you're busy living your best life, they can't help but notice. Your absence becomes a powerful reminder of your worth, and they start craving the presence they once overlooked. This approach isn't about pretending to be busy or playing games. It's about actually investing in your own life and passions. When you do that, the natural consequence is that others will start to see you differently. They'll begin to appreciate your presence more, because it's no longer something they can take for granted. Flip the script. Imagine a scenario where you're always texting first, always available for a call, always saying yes to plans. Now flip the script. Imagine you start focusing on your passions, spending time with other friends, and investing in your growth. You're no longer the person who's always there. And that's when they start missing you. They start wondering what you're up to and why you're not around as much, and they begin to crave the connection they once overlooked. This shift isn't just about them missing you. It's about you finding yourself. When you invest in your own life, you become more interesting, more fulfilled, and more confident. And that confidence is incredibly attractive. Less is more. The Rarity Effect is a reminder that sometimes less is more. When you stop giving so much of yourself, you give others the chance to miss you, to value you, and to realize what they stand to lose. It's a powerful tool, not just in relationships, but in life. By embracing your worth and stepping back, you allow others to see you in a new light. Embrace your worth. So take this as a little motivational push. Don't be afraid to step back and let others feel your absence. Focus on yourself and let them come to terms with how valuable your presence truly is. Remember, you are not just anyone. You are someone worth missing. And when you start treating yourself that way, others will too. The contrast of confidence. The glow-up they never saw coming. Let's dive into another powerful concept, the contrast of confidence. This is where things get interesting. Confidence is one of those qualities that's both magnetic and transformative. When you stop wanting someone, something remarkable happens. You start radiating a whole new level of confidence, and trust me, they can't help but notice. Imagine this. You were once wrapped up in someone else's world, maybe even a bit insecure, always seeking their approval or attention. But then, you make a decision. You decide to focus on yourself, to let go of the need for their validation. You stop caring so much about what they think, and instead start caring more about your growth, happiness, and well-being. It's like a switch flips inside of you, and suddenly you're walking taller, smiling brighter, and exuding a sense of self-assuredness that wasn't there before.
The caterpillar to butterfly transformation. This change doesn't go unnoticed. The person who once took you for granted now sees you in a whole new light. You're no longer the person who was always there, waiting for their attention. Instead, you're someone who's thriving on their own. And that contrast between who you were when you wanted them and who you are now that you don't creates a powerful shift in how they perceive you. The Stoic take on confidence. The Stoics believed in focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. When you stop seeking someone's approval and start focusing on your self-improvement, you embody this philosophy. You take control of your happiness, and in doing so, you become more attractive to others. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By responding to their indifference with confidence and self-assurance, you're sending a clear message. You don't need them to define your worth. Let me tell you, that's incredibly attractive. Confidence is a magnet. Think of it like this. You're a caterpillar that's just transformed into a butterfly, and they're standing there dumbfounded, wondering where that clumsy little bug went. They're suddenly realizing that you're not just any butterfly. You're one with vibrant wings, flying high and free, completely out of their reach. Confidence, my friends, is like a beacon of light in a dark room. It draws people in, makes them curious, and leaves them wondering how they missed it before. When you stop wanting them and start focusing on your journey, your confidence grows, and with it, their desire for you intensifies. They begin to realize that the person they took for granted has evolved into someone extraordinary, someone who doesn't need them to feel complete. This empowerment through self-love is a powerful transformation. And here's the real kicker. This confidence doesn't just attract them. It empowers you. You start to see yourself differently, too. You realize that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's opinion or affection. You're valuable because of who you are, not because of who wants you. So let this be your motivation. Embrace your confidence. Let go of the need to be wanted, and watch as your self-assurance not only transforms you, but also shifts how others see you. You're not just someone's backup plan. You're the main event, the person they suddenly can't stop thinking about because you're no longer seeking their approval. Remember, confidence is contagious. The more you cultivate it, the more others will be drawn to it. In the end, you'll find that the only approval you ever really needed was your own. So keep growing, keep shining, and let your confidence be the force that not only attracts, but also empowers you to live your best life. Now, let's talk about the pain of regret. The messed up wake-up call that hits them hard. Ever seen that look on someone's face when they realize they've messed up big time? It's like a mix of disbelief, sadness, and a whole lot of, "What was I thinking?" That, my friends, is the pain of regret, and it's a powerful force that can make someone want you back with a vengeance. Imagine this. You've been there for them through thick and thin, always offering support and affection, but they didn't fully appreciate it. Maybe even took it for granted. Then one day, you decide you've had enough. You step back, focus on your own life, and stop being so available. Suddenly, it hits them like a freight train. They messed up. Regret is a sneaky emotion. It creeps up on you when you least expect it, making you replay all the moments you wish you could do over. For them, it's not just about missing you. It's about the gut-wrenching realization that they had something special and let it slip away. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely said, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." In this case, their loss is the catalyst for their regret. They're forced to confront the reality that their actions have consequences, and sometimes those consequences mean losing someone they truly care about. Regret is like driving down a road and constantly checking the rearview mirror, only to see a missed opportunity fading into the distance. They start replaying all the times they didn't prioritize you, all the moments they failed to show appreciation, and all the little things they took for granted. The more they look back, the more they realize what they've lost, and that realization can be excruciating. They're stuck in a loop of should-haves, could-haves, and would-haves, and it's driving them crazy. They're desperate for a second chance, even though they know deep down they might not deserve one. And that desperation, that longing for what they can no longer have, can make them want you more than ever before. So if you ever feel like you're not being appreciated, remember this. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is step back and let them experience the pain of regret. It's not about being cruel. It's about giving them a chance to wake up and see what they're about to lose. And who knows? Maybe their regret will be the catalyst for change. Maybe they'll finally realize your worth and make the effort to show you how much they care. But even if they don't, remember that their regret is a testament to your value. You were someone worth missing, someone worth regretting losing. So keep focusing on your growth, your happiness, and your journey. Let the pain of their regret be a reminder of your worth. You deserve to be with someone who appreciates you every day, not just when they're afraid of losing you. Remember, you're not responsible for their regret, but you are responsible for your happiness. So keep shining, keep moving forward, and let them learn the hard way that you were always the one they should have cherished. The mystery of uncertainty, a mind game that keeps them hooked. All right, folks, let's unravel the seventh proof, the mystery of uncertainty. This one's a bit of a head-scratcher, but it's incredibly powerful in explaining why someone suddenly desires you more when you've pulled back. It's as if you've become a captivating puzzle they can't resist trying to solve. Picture this. You've been the one always initiating contact, always available, always predictable. They've gotten used to your constant presence and your predictable patterns. But then, you change the game. You stop reaching out. You become less available. And you leave them wondering, wait, what's happening? This unpredictability turns you into an enigma, an uncertainty that drives you crazy. It's like a captivating mystery novel where they're desperately trying to figure out the next plot twist. The less they know about what you're up to, the more they want to know. They start replaying your past interactions, analyzing your every move, trying to decipher the enigma that you've become. Marcus Aurelius, in his Stoic philosophy, hit the nail on the head when he said, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." In this scenario, they fear losing the connection they had with you, the comfort of knowing where they stand. The less they know, the more they crave that certainty, that connection they once took for granted. The magnetic pull of the unknown. Uncertainty isn't just intriguing, it's magnetic. It draws them in like moths to a flame. They begin to miss your presence, your attention, and the predictability they once had. Now that it's gone, they can't stop thinking about you. They're constantly checking their phone, hoping for a message, wondering what you're doing, who you're with, and whether they're missing out on something amazing. So, embrace the mystery. Keep them guessing. Let them wonder what's going on in your world. The less they know, the more they'll want to know. And the more they want to know, the more they'll start to realize just how much they value your presence in their lives. The social media detox analogy. Think about it like this. You're on a social media detox. Suddenly, everyone's wondering where you've gone. They start checking your profile, hoping for an update, missing your posts and comments. It's the same principle at play. When you're not constantly sharing your life, people become curious. They start to miss you, and that absence makes them realize just how much they value your presence. Remember your worth. Your value doesn't decrease just because someone else fails to recognize it. By creating a bit of mystery, you're not playing games. You're simply reminding them that your time and attention are valuable. You're showing them that you have a life outside of them, and that's incredibly attractive. The power of the unseen. So, go ahead and embrace the power of the unseen. Let them wonder. Let them miss you. Let them crave the connection they once took for granted. It's in that space of uncertainty that they'll truly start to appreciate your worth. And who knows? Maybe they'll even work hard to earn back the place they once had in your life. The reversal of roles. The, wait, they're not chasing me anymore. Plot twist. All right, let's talk about the 8th proof, the reversal of roles. This one's a real head spinner, and honestly, it's almost poetic how it plays out. You see, when you stop chasing someone, the dynamics can shift dramatically, and suddenly, they're the ones trying to win you back. It's like a classic movie plot twist where the underdog suddenly becomes the one everyone's chasing after. Imagine this. You've been the pursuer, the one always initiating contact, always available, always seeking their validation. But then, you decide to change the script. You step back, focus on yourself, and stop seeking their approval. And just like that, the tables turn. Now they're the ones feeling the void, wondering why you're not chasing them anymore. They're left questioning, wait, they're not chasing me anymore? Did I just lose something valuable? The power of reclaiming your power. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. By no longer seeking their approval, you've reclaimed your power. You're no longer playing by their rules, and that shift can be incredibly disarming. They're used to you being the one who's
always there, always eager, always available. But now, you're not. And that change makes them realize they might have taken you for granted. The chase is on. Imagine you're used to being the one who texts first, the one who makes all the plans, the one who's always bending over backward to keep things going. Now, imagine you stop doing all that. You start focusing on your own life, your happiness, and your growth. Suddenly, they're the ones texting you, trying to get your attention, wondering what you're up to. They're the ones trying to win back what they didn't appreciate before. The prize, not the pursuer. The beauty of this reversal is that it's not about playing games or being manipulative. It's about recognizing your worth. When you focus on yourself, you become the prize, not the pursuer. You're no longer chasing after their validation. They're the ones chasing after yours. A lesson in value. By stepping back, you're not just gaining control, you're teaching them a valuable lesson about your worth. You're showing them that you're not just there to be taken for granted, but that your time, energy, and presence are valuable. It's a powerful reminder that you're not someone who needs to be validated by others, but someone who is already whole and complete, embracing the shift, reclaiming your power. There comes a moment in every relationship when the dynamics start to shift. It's that pivotal point when they realize that you're not someone to be taken for granted. Your presence in their life is not a given. It's a privilege. When this realization dawns, it's essential to embrace the shift, to recognize that you're not just altering the dynamics of the relationship, you're changing the game entirely. This shift, is about stepping into your power, owning your worth, and watching how the roles naturally reverse in your favor. It's a beautiful transformation, one that you should welcome with open arms. Keep shining. Keep focusing on your growth, and trust that this shift will work to your advantage. You've got this. The fear of finality, a powerful motivator. Now let's delve into a more profound concept, the fear of finality. This is the 9th proof, and it taps into a primal human fear, the fear of losing something forever. Imagine this scenario. You've done the work. You've stepped back, refocused on yourself, and stopped chasing after them. You're thriving, living your best life, and suddenly, they feel it. A cold wave of panic that washes over them. It's the realization that this might be it, the end of the line. And that fear, my friends, can be a powerful motivator. The fear of finality is akin to that moment in a horror movie when the protagonist realizes they're trapped with no escape. It's a primal fear of loss, of something precious slipping through your fingers forever. That's exactly what they're feeling when they see you moving on. The thought of you being gone for good, of never having another chance to connect, to laugh, to share experiences. It terrifies them. They start to imagine a future without you in it. And it's bleak. They realize they might have messed up big time. And now, they're scrambling to make things right. The Marcus Aurelius reality check. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Their thoughts are now consumed by regret, fear, and a desperate desire to undo the finality of your departure. They're seeing you in a new light, realizing the depth of their feelings, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get you back. It's that, oh crap moment, when they realize they might have lost something truly special. They're hit with a wave of emotions, regret for not appreciating you sooner, fear of never having you back, and a desperate longing to change the ending of this story, the motivational push. So, if you're ever feeling undervalued or taken for granted, remember this. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is let them experience the fear of finality. It's not about being cruel. It's about giving them a wake-up call, a chance to see what they stand to lose if they don't change their ways. And who knows? Maybe this fear will be the catalyst for change. Maybe they'll finally step up, make the effort, and show you the appreciation you deserve. But even if they don't, remember that their fear is a testament to your worth. You were someone worth fighting for, someone they couldn't bear to lose. Keep shining, keep focusing on yourself, and let them feel the weight of their own choices. You deserve to be with someone who values you every day, not just when they're afraid of losing you forever. The Stoic's Guide to Self-Love and Reclaiming Power. Let's wrap this up with the ultimate lesson, the one that ties everything together. The Stoic's Guide to Self-Love and Reclaiming Your Power. This isn't just about making someone want you. It's about realizing your worth and never settling for less than you deserve. Think about it. We've talked about absence, shifting dynamics, confidence, and even regret. But at the core of it all is a simple truth. You are valuable. You are worthy of love, respect, and appreciation. And when you truly believe that, everything changes. The Epictetus Epiphany. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus had a powerful insight when he said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The same applies to relationships. True wealth lies not in desperately seeking someone else's affection, but in recognizing your self-worth and being content with or without it. When you stop chasing, you're not just playing hard to get. You're embarking on a self-love revolution. You're saying to yourself, "I am enough. I'm worthy of love and respect, even if they don't see it right now." And that shift in mindset, that radical act of self-acceptance, is what makes you truly irresistible. The mirror effect. Think of it like this. When you look in the mirror and see someone who's confident, self-assured, and radiating self-love, it's attractive, right? Well, others see that too. They're drawn to your inner strength, your self-respect, and the fact that you're not defined by their approval or rejection. The "I deserve better" mantra. Repeat after me. I deserve better. Say it again and again. Internalize it. Make it your mantra, because you do deserve better. You deserve to be with someone who values you, who appreciates your presence, and who makes you feel loved and respected every single day. So, as you continue on this journey, remember, you're not just a character in their story. You're the author of your own. And this chapter, the one where you reclaim your power and embrace your worth, is just the beginning. Keep shining, keep growing, and never settle for anything less than you deserve. The Stoic path to power, mastering yourself. The Stoics believe that true power comes from within, from mastering your thoughts and emotions. When you focus on self-love, you're not just becoming more attractive to others, you're becoming the best version of yourself. That's the ultimate power move, from chaser to the chased. Let's recap. When you stop chasing and start focusing on yourself, several things happen. First, you become more confident. You're no longer seeking validation from others, so your self-esteem soars. You become more independent, living your own life and pursuing your own goals without relying on anyone else for your happiness. You become more mysterious, leaving others wondering what you're up to, who you're with, and whether they're missing out. This often triggers their regret, as they realize they took you for granted and start to miss your presence. Ultimately, you become the prize. You're no longer the pursuer, they are. All of this stems from one simple act, choosing to love and value yourself. So here's the final takeaway. The most powerful way to make someone want you is to stop wanting them. Focus on yourself, embrace your worth, and let them see what they are missing. Remember, you're not just a pawn in their game. You're the queen on your chessboard. Start playing like it. These undeniable truths reveal the fascinating psychology behind why people often want you more when you no longer want them. We've journeyed through the Stoic principles of self-mastery, the allure of absence, and the undeniable power of a confident, independent spirit. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about understanding human nature, reclaiming your power, and recognizing your inherent worth. It's about embodying the Stoic ideal of focusing on what you can control, your actions, thoughts, and self-worth, and letting go of what you can't. As Epictetus wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When you master yourself, when you prioritize your growth and happiness, you become a force to be reckoned with. You become someone people can't help but admire, respect, and yes, even desire. But here's the most important takeaway. The greatest love story you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. When you truly love and value yourself, you set the standard for how others treat you. You stop chasing after those who don't appreciate you and create space for those who do. Go out there and live your best life. Embrace your independence, cultivate your confidence, and never settle for less than you deserve. Remember, you're not just someone's option, you're the prize. When you start believing that, the whole world will see it too. The journey to self-love and empowerment starts today. Show them what they're missing.